The big day is getting closer and I cannot wait. Tom Cruise making a triumphant return in Top Gun Maverick, opening in Singapore on May 25th. The lucky few, like our film correspondent John Lui, have already seen it. John, the sequel has been more than 30 years in the making and delayed a couple of times because of the pandemic. Is it worth every bit?
You're right, this is one of the most anticipated films this year. I think Top Gun came out before you're born. I think the word the Navy would use is you weren't operationally ready yet when it first came out. I think I was doing NS when it came out, and I think the first movie, as they say, struck a chord with a lot of people, because I think one thing that the first movie did that helped it earn $350 million worldwide in 1986 is that it really made being a pilot cool. Director Tony Scott, back then, he had a way of making it look realistic, but at the same time exciting and very cool. So that movie created a lot of catchphrases like, I have a need for speed. It made the songs, Danger Zone and Take My Breath Away. It went to the top of the charts. So, this is a movie that a lot of people have a lot of very pleasant nostalgia factor attachments to.
John, having said that, the nostalgia, and now finally coming back after more than 30 years, how would you rate the movie?
Okay, now, like the title suggests, this is all about Maverick, and you're going to get 200% Maverick. I'm going to call this film Dr. Cruise in the Multiverse of Maverickness, because you're going to get all the flavors of Maverick. So the thing about the film is that there's so much of him that he plays everything. He's the love interest, and in terms of character, he's both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker. He's both the mentor and the hero, the chosen one. One thing I did like was that sequels, they like to go really big and really loud. And one thing that this thing keeps from the original film is the sense of realism, is a sense that, as they say in the film, it's the pilot, not the plane. So it's not cars flying into space, it's not cars, like a certain sequel that we all know, cars going underwater and landing on a submarine. So it keeps it realistic, and it's still pretty exciting in places.
As always, John, appreciate your candor. That was film correspondent John Lui. Now, with inflation rising, you might be looking for ways to keep your bills under control. STFood online editor Hedy Khoo has tested a few recipes that are budget-friendly and won't hurt the wallet. Hedy, tell us about your first dish, the clay pot egg tofu.
These recipes are part of a series called Family Dinners Under $10. Tofu is a common and economical ingredient. A lot of people might think of it as bland and boring. That's why I'm here to show you a couple of ways to jazz it up. So yes, clay pot egg tofu is one way to get your family excited for a cheap but cheerful dinner. A tube of fortune egg tofu, about 150 grams, costs $1 each at fair price. I got them on sale, 2 tubes for $1.75. Some home cooks cut each tube into 5 pieces. I prefer to quarter it, as larger pieces remain juicy and substantial after deep frying. It is a basic stir fry of vegetables. Add some oyster sauce and seasoning. Transfer that into your clay pot, in with the tofu, and you are done. A zi cha or even restaurant-worthy dish right on your dinner table.
I sure hope you like tofu, because Hedy's second dish also features bean curd.
For something quite different, especially for those who don't want to fire up the stove, try this dish of pitan tofu, which is tofu with century egg. You don't need cooking skills, just throw it together. You need a blender to make the sauce. This is my take on an appetizer that I had at an izakaya, but it can be a light meal on its own. You need 2 century eggs for this, one to use as garnish and the other to use for the sauce. So you take one and blend it with a little mirin, cooking sake and sesame dressing, and you've got your sauce. So just throw on the other sliced up century egg, put on some tobiko and spring onion, and it's all good.
You know what, Hedy? I've never been excited about tofu. Now I am. Thank you so much. That was STFood online editor Hedy Khoo. For more tofu dishes, check out Hedy's story at str.sg/live. Try her easy-to-follow recipes and get cooking. And do look out for the next part of a series called Family Dinners Under $10. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos.